All right. I'm just gonna start and let you lead, child. Let me.
That's what they usually do.
Yeah. I cannot. Are we recording?
Ladies and gentlemen,
So is this also an exclusive or?
you are now tuned in to the live podcast on Earth.
Ladies
The necessary,
and gentlemen,
unnecessary.
it is yours truly, Frisco, from the Necessary Unnecessary Podcast, and we have an exclusive with the Emmanuel J Davis.
Thank you
That's
so
the whole
much.
name, huh?
Yeah, I like it like that. You know, I feel like when I get my award, they're gonna say, "And the Academy Award goes to
Come on now.
Emmanuel J Davis." It just sounds so good.
Absolutely. So, friend, you do a lot. You hold on, let me get out the list. Founder and CEO of Level Entertainment Group, publicist, producer, brand strategist for entertainment executive with over 20 years in it.
Yeah, it's
Go
a
ahead.
lot.
Go ahead.
No, it's crazy because I was just telling somebody when people ask me what I do, it's like a mouthful. So I just had to get tatted on me. I do a million things. So like, it's like a thing at this point.
Right, he does do a million things. Well, we'll start off with the main thing that you do, that you love the most.
Well, I feel like that's a big question because like my whole life I wanted to work in entertainment. I've known that I was going to work in entertainment my whole life, and I told myself I didn't care if I was going to be in like the middle of a cruise ship. As long as I was working in entertainment, I would be happy. And so it depends on what day you catch me. But my passion is I want to be I am a director and a producer and bring things to life. In my day-to-day job currently, I feel like I am managing. I'm also a publicist for different talent that you all might know. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Can we talk about that talent?
You can talk about the talent.
Well, we can talk about the
I
talent
mean-
later. We'll talk about the talent later.
I can only say so much, so let's see where
Right, that's why I
gonna
said
go.
we'll talk about the talent
Yeah.
later. We want to focus more on Emmanuel.
Oh, see, let's see what you want to talk about. I'm gonna try to give you as much as I
I
can.
mean, Emmanuel, darling, the list goes on. So your core narrative would be you built Level Entertainment Group from relationships, instincts, and execution.
Yes, and so
Let's talk about your company.
with Level Entertainment Group, I
Yes.
think the name speaks for itself. I want to take people to another level. I feel like the company itself has taken me to another
Right.
level. It does a lot. And it's a full service creative company, so it's not just marketing, but also management, and also we produce content. So it brings a lot to life. Me, myself, I have a background, like I said, in production as a director. So when COVID happened, the strike happened, I had to figure out what I was going to do with my life, and I pivoted. And I pivoted into management and marketing with my relationships. I had a lot of friends in entertainment, and some of my friends needed help, and I started to assist them. I started to do events. That's one of my specialties. I throw some of the greatest events I feel like you can ever go to. I've thrown everybody's parties in LA, BET Award parties for Ray J, all the way to Soulja Boy's birthday parties for the last 3 years. So yeah, that built up my resume, and I noticed that I had a big catalog to media from like the red carpets, and then I started pivoting into that, and people were telling me at first that I was a publicist, and I was like, no, I'm like managing and I'm doing events. But then I realized that all of my relationships and all the things, once they came together, that's what public relations
Right.
are. And I started to take that a lot more seriously. And I didn't really feel comfortable at first calling myself a publicist, to be honest, because I see myself as a director and a producer. And I take that very seriously. I went to school for that. So I didn't want to just negate that or abandon that.
Right.
But I also knew that God sometimes uses me as a vessel, and a lot of the things that were given to me as far as opportunities or different doors that were opening weren't for me.
Right.
They were for other people.
Right.
And so that's really what I leaned into.
Now, so can we talk about what you have directed? Like, is it something we can go check out?
Yeah, I've directed a lot of different things, especially in music videos. It's like culturally, I worked with a lot of people. I wanted to give a shout out to like a lot of different people, like at Blank Square and Edgar, who gave me a big opportunity in assisting him direct a lot of different projects. I've worked with Chris Brown, French Montana. One of my favorite music videos I've worked with is The Baddest with Chris Brown and Blue. I've played a big part in that. I've worked in a lot of productions even that I feel like that you guys might have known, and I can't necessarily say because sometimes behind the scenes,
right,
it's a lot of things that play. But yeah, I've directed. I was the director of development, for instance, for a company called Flipped Out Entertainment, and so we brought projects to life like Sprinter, that's on Netflix now. Hold On, I was just and brought that to life with Flipped Out. That's on Hulu right now, and so that's why I was like in my years of being in the business, I feel like there's been so many things that I've done that I don't want to just start naming things and forget something. But yeah, right now I'm currently wanting to build up my brand and my name as like, there are a lot of directors, and I don't want to just compare myself to the one director that everybody wants to say call, but I do compare myself to people like Martin Scorsese and Steven Spielberg and Quentin Tarantino, because I have a visual that I want to bring to life that I don't think has been tapped into yet.
What kind of visual is that?
I want to be like real, like when I say Quentin Tarantino, it's like gory but not gory. But I want to bring our lives, our stories to life. But I feel like we don't get everyday stories. A lot of times it's like we got to be robbing, killing,
typical stereotype.
Yeah. There's like a thing called slice of life in film, and slice of life projects are like things like you might have seen like Meryl Streep or Julia Roberts do. Like
like the peaceful, typical like. Oh,
and there's a hard climax at the end. Yeah, like, wow, what just happened?
Right.
And you're like, why was I watching this for 20 minutes? It was real boring in the beginning, but then you realize it's one of those real deep, dramatic stories.
Right.
And we don't ever really get those stories.
Right.
I want to really like pull from that, and I have experiences culturally that I also see, especially in Black television and film. It's a lot of Black worlds or white worlds, and to be completely honest, I want to create diverse worlds. There's no all Black television or all Black movie. I feel like there needs to be an implement and source of everybody, Asian, Latinos included, that I want to create spaces that I see everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because we all got to live together on this damn planet. Shit, not like.
And it's also a space that I feel like when I'm casting and writing, I had gotten trained to kind of write for us, and then I was like, the room is not gonna be all Black. When the doctor walks in, he might be, an Indian man. Like, you never know. Like, realistically, I want my projects to be realistic.
I love that. You let me know when the project's coming up, so I can.
They're coming up. I have some things in the works, like right now. That's why I'm here now, to kind of like start putting myself out there a little bit more, because I definitely feel like I have put a lot of attention between and behind a lot of people, and I feel like I deserve the same amount of attention.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's why I was like, forget them.
No, not forget them. They pay me well.
Not
they
forget
pay
them
me
like
very
that.
well.
But
Don't forget them.
No, don't forget them in that light, but they already got their light.
Yeah, they have their light. They have their shine, and they shine so bright. And I want to thank them too in that moment, because a lot of them shining so bright has shined a light on what I do. And I feel like it's starting to bring a lot of attention and letting people know that I am like verifiable, because they're like, yeah, he does this. And I've done it for a long time, like I said, but some of the things are just now coming to life and attention for me. So yeah, I'm definitely grateful for my clients.
Do you think culturally, if we didn't have social media, do you think 20 years ago it would be easier to do what you want to do, or do you think it would be?
That's a great question. It's like a double-edged sword, because I feel like I've worked very hard. I went to school for this. I've put in hours with this, and I feel like I wouldn't get that in because it made me like the expert or like really tedious at the things that I do to get in this space. But there are a lot of people that have instant success when it comes to social media, and they might go viral, and then they get this immediate sponsorship and these things that come by them that I'm like, how did they get that? Or how did that happen? And it's no way in jealous or anything like that when I say that. It's just like they didn't necessarily do the work to do that.
Right.
But then I realized that when they get there, they sometimes end up calling me anyway, respectfully, because they need to know where to stand, the markings. Like there's certain terminology on set that they're not using today that they were using 20 years ago. Also, I feel like I grew up in an era that I dreamed of being here, and they're not doing things the way that they did in the 90s. And so sometimes I don't feel like even what I'm doing sometimes is being appreciated,
right?
Because I'm sometimes going above and beyond to make up for other spaces that are like being avoided today. And I also feel like we live in a space that is very instant again, and like there's not a whole sometimes production team in Hollywood. There's sometimes 50 to 100 people there.
Absolutely.
And now we live in a sketch era where people can grab a phone and
AI.
I mean, well, that's another topic, because I will say, you mentioned AI. I want people to really lean into AI a little bit more. And the reason I say this, because AI can be really scary. But I had a dinner with Bill Dukes. Are you familiar with Bill Dukes?
No, it was Bill Dukes.
He is a legendary director and producer. He's been in a lot of different things from,
You know you done messed up, right? You know you done messed up.
Oh, Black Dude!
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, with the eyes and the bald head.
Yeah,
oh, you had to tell me. Yeah,
we had the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had the same birthday actually. And we were at dinner one time, and he had said to me, that it's not going anywhere, and that you need to realize how you can work with it, or it's going to work against you. And so lately I've been realizing, like, for me, if I'm writing a script, I'm going to use it to edit it, grammar it, make sure that its punctuation is correct. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to write my own creativity, but I'm going to utilize it for me to make sure that when it goes off to the right people, that I am utilizing it to the best advantage. Or I'm going to make sure, like, there's certain things right now with app developments and things that I don't want to get left behind in these times, that I want to make sure that I'm aware of it, that I've studied it, that I know how to utilize it. And that's the space that I feel like we're in right now. That I don't ever want it to replace it. We can never use anybody else's faces, emotional creativity. AI is not going to be ever do that. Even when you watch it, you can see the glitches in space. It can't keep up. But it is in a space that it's allowing us as producers to create something that we have in our mind instantly. Like if I need an edit for an in-between transition of something, I would definitely go to AI, because I can't afford that budget at home right now. And there's a lot of projects that sit on the table because they don't have that budget. And so a part of it is like, to those creatives at home that have that vision, use it to make sizzles and trailers to go and get that bigger budget, but don't settle for that. Don't use your creativity and experience it. It's wonderful to be on set. It's wonderful to have those cameras, the lights, and the makeup artists, and the wardrobe, and to see all that. I don't ever want to see that go away. It's like the best experience of my life when I'm on set. Yeah.
I know exactly that feeling. That's why I'm trying to get back on that feeling. Shit. Okay, so what makes Level Entertainment different from others?
So I pride myself in transitioning. I feel like I remember what it was like to not have. And I feel like we go into a lot of spaces and people either forget that, or they're operating at a really high level. And so when people come to me, it's not just that they have to have a dream, but they're coming from a different place and they want to go somewhere. And I feel like that's what we're doing at Level Entertainment. We're taking them somewhere. And for me, it's like, again, I'm using it as a leverage for me when I say Level Entertainment. There's always new levels. There's always something new. So we're different in the way that when you come to us, I'm not gonna approach you the same way I approach every client. Every recipe is not the same.
Right.
And I feel like we are going to be able to take you to another level than where you were, regardless if I was with you for 3 months or a year. There will be an evident change that I was present.
I love it. Friend, you be working, child. So we here building companies and so working with reality stars and influencers. Now I can only imagine all the different personalities.
It's a lot of different personalities.
Energy.
How do I work with so many personalities, huh?
How?
How? That's the question. How do I work with so many personalities? Well, all of them. I guess I tap into all 5 of my different personalities.
I believe it.
No. Everybody is different. I treat everybody different. I feel like everybody has different needs when they come to me. Nobody really is in the same lane, honestly. So I don't treat anybody the same. I have relationships with them all, and I treat them all separate. None of them are in this. Even for instance, and it's gonna come up. A lot of the girls that I work with are on the same show, for instance. I mean, we might as well say it. If you want to say that,
I mean, I don't mind saying it. Do you mind saying
Can
it?
you let them know who I work for so it don't sound so crazy?
Okay, so
yeah, go ahead.
he works for baddies.
Well, I don't work for baddies. I work for some of the baddies.
No, well, you might also say shit all of them.
You know, it's not all of them.
How many?
Well, I love all the girls, honestly.
Right.
Like, I honestly do realize that the ecosystem in the world depends on one another. I've realized that as I've been around them, but also I work personally with Diamond the Body.
Okay.
MVB 2 years in a row. You know, hey. Big Lex, the biggest, not the little one.
I love Big Lex.
Don't get they press because it's Lex. I also work with Sapphire. Sapphire is, I mean, she's a light in her own. We're both Pisces. You ever met Sapphire? Beautiful inside and out, like truthfully. And then Lexi Golds. I've heard that name. Well, she was a cabaret, but this is her first season on Baddies, Chapter 2. Congratulations to her, because she's a certified baddie. And she deserves it. She absolutely deserves it. And so those four are on the same show, and I'm able to navigate. I'm glad that they haven't had any like real scuffles in between each other, but I mean, I keep them all separate. It's kind of like within the contract, number one. None of their businesses like really divulge to one another, but they also have a respect for each other in that world, I guess I can say. It's like a sisterhood. It is that I feel like all of them are experiencing that nobody else in the world is experiencing. So I feel like even the ones that they hate and can't stand, even though it's not said, there is a level of somewhat respect, like a sorority.
Absolutely.
If that can make any sense, because they're in a sorority. I guess that's the way I can say it.
You gotta get sworn in and sign contracts.
And all of the above, but it's also, I feel like, an experience that nobody, like I said, nobody else is experiencing. It's a crazy world and an ecosystem that the baddies have. And Diamond opened that door to me. I mean, I've worked with other people within Zeus before, Winnie Stacks and things like that. But Diamond completely opened the door to me, and I'm so grateful to her for that. But she is a shining light over there, and that, I mean, allowed other things to come and transpire.
So, working with the baddies, has that led you to working with any other, or do you have to, like, when you work with one reality show, do you have to stay with that reality show? Or
well, let me say, like I said, The Baddies is the #1 reality show in the world right now, so
Right.
it has brought a lot of attention to what I do currently. But I've worked with celebrities for my tenure. Like I said, I've worked with Soulja Boy, I've worked with Chris Brown, I've worked with, and that's whether I was an AD on a music video, but like I said, I've done everything behind the camera from being a PA, so in this time, I've been around celebrities. It's not a thing, really, it's my day-to-day.
Right.
So they have allowed me to be seen a little bit more.
Absolutely.
But I do work with other reality stars. Right now, I am going in working with Nia Dorsey. She's a basketball wife. That's in the reality world and space. I've worked with actors as well. Robert Rashad, one really good friend of mine. I've worked with him in certain spaces in this arena. Worked with. I mean, the list goes on.
Clearly.
Like, if I want to go on. But I'm not here to necessarily name drop like that.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, and a lot of these people are my friends. And I wouldn't even be, like, you know what I'm saying, in that space if it wasn't like that, if they weren't opening that door to say that. And sometimes it's shocking to me. Like,
Atlanta's about who you know.
You know?
That's how it works.
And you know, you see me like on a regular basis. Like, honestly, I've seen you out shopping, and every time I'm with somebody different, it's not like
he is always with somebody
and
different.
it's not like we're just normal people shopping or going out. It's not like the big production of things.
Right.
Sometimes we have cameras on us, and sometimes we haven't. But yeah, but it doesn't really mess up. Now I'll say, does it help working with? I've had other baddies check me that I don't work with because of the baddies I work with. And I've received it because I've had to turn down some things. Like, I couldn't work with you because of some of the girls. You guys have a beef right now.
Gotcha.
And again, or like, but I always keep it really cordial and really nice. And the reason I do, let me be real honest. Like, when I see every single baddie, I'm very respectful. I say hi to everybody. I smile. because I feel like I don't ever want them to feel threatened by me.
Right.
In the way that we are always sometimes put in uncomfortable positions when they are fighting. They are really, really fighting. This is not a fake show.
Right.
Like,
No, I know
all.
that. I've seen the bruises and
you know
the
what I'm saying?
busted lips.
So I don't ever want nobody to make, when I'm around, for them to feel like I am being biased, because I do work with so many of the girls. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I have to sit on my hands and not say a word, you know, even though I'm in the room. And then I also, like, for instance, I'll give some insider information right now that I know I won't get in trouble for. Like at the reunions, for instance.
Okay.
The teams
I would love to go to one of them.
but the teams aren't allowed to go inside of the reunion. We're not. The girls are, and then they bring in the audience and they bring in the crew. But the teams, they lock everybody in their own individual rooms. Like, because they don't want anything to happen. They don't want anybody else to jump in.
Oh, okay.
They don't, and respectfully, I understand it. Now, I will say for me, that has been difficult because I have multiple girls.
Right.
So sometimes I have to go from room to room to room. So that's why I try to not be seen, but I am seen, but not a problem at all.
Right,
I
right.
can't be. Because that's gonna be difficult for me to operate in that space and create a problem for my job.
Right.
So even if they are doing this, that's Big Lex's job, is to beat your ass. So I gotta sit here and not even engage. Like,
Right.
I know she's gonna beat your ass. Why am I gonna jump up?
That motherfucker
Why
can
would
fight.
I even jump in when we know she's gonna beat your ass?
Right,
You
right.
fucked up. There's no need for me to get up. The security be looking at me. I'm like, I'm not getting up. She's gonna win. Like, what?
Now, what if they start losing, though, man?
They got paid.
What?
Listen, that's the thing. Okay, so now let me get to this part.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead, get comfortable, friend. Tell me the juice. Come on.
This is their job, okay? This is a job that they get paid very well. Zeus takes very good care of the girls. They take very good care of them. I know it's a lot of things back and forth but this is a show that they are celebrities over there. There is security guards, there are medics, there are people there that if something does happen, they are taken care of. But this is also, to me, when I'm pitching the show, let me pitch it like you are a brand and I'm trying to pitch one of the girls to you, okay? Because a lot of times they're comparing the girls to the housewives. And
why?
Exactly why. This is that type of reality show.
Yeah, why would you?
I'm in a space that when I'm pitching, and I'm about to give a lot of sauce to the other girls' managements and publicists. If you guys want to pick this up, I suggest you do. That it is a sports entertainment, boxing entertainment show. It is in the same vein of the WWE. And it's not, when I say the WWE, I mean that the girls come out there to fight. When I say the MMA, the girls come out there to fight. When I say boxing, they come out there to fight with Clarissa Shields. It's in the same space, and Clarissa Shields brings in big sponsorship dollars. Clarissa Shields is a pay-per-view situation where big sponsors want to sponsor these situations. Now, there are a reality stance that you guys are seeing the build-up to the fight. Y'all are seeing the pre-show on why the girls are fighting, why they don't like each other, what actually happened, but we are tuned in, let's be honest, to see the fight.
Absolutely.
The girls are paid a higher salary than other shows because they are risking their lives differently than the other people. So my conversation when I'm having them with brands and I'm having them with other people is that why are we not comparing them in these same spaces? What's the difference between an MMA fighter and a baddie?
Do you want me to tell you, friend?
Yeah, tell me. I know what the answer is.
I mean, me
That they're
personally,
representing a certain community that they don't want to advance.
They do.
And they think that it's a negative stereotype that they're trying to push.
I mean-
and now because now this is my job to fight for my girl.
Go ahead, fight. You better
Let's
fight.
do it.
Fight.
You see, I'm buckling
Because
up.
I ain't gonna lie to you, I have never. I used to be a dancer.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I used to strip, and even though we all know it's a very degrading job, it is what it is.
My mama was a stripper.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, hey, to each his own. Depends on how you handle your business. When
I
you strip.
lived very well. Don't ever
I
think it was twisted.
cannot. So I try not to judge other women for what they do because I stripped, and a lot of people look down on strippers.
Yeah, but you would never be on baddies.
No, I would not.
I understand.
No, I would not.
You
I
a
would not.
mama. You a wife.
No, even before I had, and I used to fight a lot back in the day, but it wasn't something I advertised. You see what I'm saying?
understand.
Like, it was more like a self-defense thing. I'm a tomboy. Girls were jealous of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the image that Baddies creates is it's majority of women of color, right?
Yes. There are Mariah, there's Gretchen, there's other ladies.
Of course, they're gonna
on
have
the show.
they're gonna have their little sprinkles.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's women of color, right? That's one thing. And then it's how the women not only portray themselves and act when they go to the audition. It's just like, oh God, why does it have to be something negative? Why we can't have a show of women entrepreneurs or women going to school or women raising kids or women pushing something positive versus us fighting each other?
Those shows exist.
They do, but they're not they're not making the money in the
Hold on.
they're not getting the attention that baddies get.
Hold
You
on.
know that though.
But that's
what
not.
are the shows? Tell me the
that's
shows.
That's not baddies' fault.
No, it's not.
You
It's
can
not.
watch
It's
OWN
not.
Network. You can watch other networks. Hold on, 100% that there are spaces for everybody. If you want to watch
Absolutely.
TLC and family programming, that is available. If you want to sit at home with your child and watch that, but that's the truth.
No,
and that's
right.
why you also don't know that where those shows are because
Right.
we might not be looking for them. And then there is a space that was created for people that like this. There was a space that was created that people want to be entertained because this is what they want to see.
Absolutely.
And so we can't negate that that's what's number one for a reason. I will say that in my personal opinion, did I watch baddies? No, I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? My daughter would watch it. I have a 19-year-old daughter and I would see it watching
Oh,
it.
you let her watch it?
Yeah, I would watch it, but it wasn't that thing. I became a fan of the show once the girls and my friends were on the show, and I got tuned in. That's how I became. And then I'm looking at the girls, and now I see why they're baddies, or I know why they were put in. Now, it wasn't just because they're fighting. Diamond is a baddie because she is a boss. When I say she's a boss, she owned the strip club before she came on Baddies. She has a whole team and a conglomerate. She's also an artist. And when I say an artist, she takes it very seriously. She's been an artist for 8 years, and she's now a signed artist. So that's why she's a baddie. Big Lex is a baddie because she was a athlete and a college scholar. That is why she is a baddie, a beautiful girl. Inside and out, her spirit is beautiful. You've met her. Her spirit
She is dope.
It's so cool.
Yes.
And so, but the thing is, do you expect her to lose a fight if you come to her? No. Nobody is expecting them to lose a fight. That's what's happening. They're shocked that she can actually fight.
I was shocked
You know
too.
what I'm saying? With Sapphire doesn't really fight on the show. She went to go get in the fight, and some of the girls didn't want to fight her because she's such a beautiful person, and her spirit still carries that. And there are certain girls that do not fight on the show, and I guess I get really excited when I hear it because I've had a friend who is in a very powerful position, and they're like, none of the baddies are ever going to be on Vogue. And I was like, excuse me? And I took offense to that because that's also my job. And I was like, what do you mean? Because I'm transitioning and I feel like we're doing things that I feel like, in the future might not be this year, but in 5 years, they can be on the cover of Vogue. Because I know that there's women like Kim Kardashian. And I think about how they got started with people like Ray J.
Sex tapes.
You said it. I did not.
I said it, sure did.
But but hey, I'm being very honest.
Absolutely.
I'm thinking about people like Paris Hilton and people like Britney Spears that were running around town, and as they got out of the car, there was paparazzi flashing pictures. Exactly.
It's different,
That's what I want you to recognize.
that.
That's what I want you to recognize.
Right.
That's what the difference is.
Right.
That there is still a space
Absolutely.
that now those girls are at Met Galas.
Yep.
Now those ladies are at the space,
Absolutely.
and so I am not going to take away from where these girls are starting.
Absolutely.
Lex is just now getting started.
Yep.
When I tell you she is a beautiful girl, I see her as a supermodel.
Didn't she just buy herself a car?
Listen.
I see that's good, girl.
Listen, deserved it. Well deserved. And she's also in a space that I feel like I look at her as one of the socialites, that this is the space that at one point it was Love and Hip Hop as the number one show. At one point it was The Real Housewives as the number one show. Baddies is the number one show. In 10 years, where is Big Lex going to be?
It's up to Big Lex.
No, but when I tell you this girl is so smart, when I tell you that, and she is underestimated because they see one
negative
side of her.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
She's so well organized. She does have a college degree in business. She's utilizing everything that she has. She's definitely investing her time and her resources, but that's nobody's business.
Right.
They're gonna see that. They're gonna see that. And even how, and I feel like there's so many debates, only time will tell.
Right.
There are people that invest in themselves and in their teams, and Lex is one of them. But I also and I feel like I've talked about them a lot. I feel like I haven't talked about Lexi Gold, who's even, like I said, I'm in the middle of that transition. And how I said, I pride myself in transitions. from baddies to from Jocelyn Cabaret to baddies. And I feel like as I'm seeing her glow and shine, she deserves this attention because she works very hard.
Right.
She comes from a space that when you come from nothing, you deserve this. And that's why when I talk about the baddies is these girls' door.
Absolutely.
It opened the door for them.
Absolutely.
It created opportunities that a lot of us do not have.
That's facts.
Period. At all.
Right.
So even when it goes, I see fans talking about, oh, Lex has a degree. Why isn't she using the degree? I did the math. If Lex was using her degree, she would not be making what she's making now in 1 month.
Unfortunately.
In 1 month. That's just what it is. So you want her to be in poverty?
They're not in poverty.
Almost. Let's be very clear.
You're right.
It takes master's degrees and doctorates. We're in 2026.
Yep.
And these girls are blessed. And that's why I get passionate about it, because I also see how hard they work. I see the sacrifices that they're making, and I also see like how much they pour into their teams. When I tell you they take good care of me, good care of me. They're very caring people, and I mean, they probably fight me for saying that. Like,
Hey, don't be telling these hoes I'm nice.
No, you walk up on them, you might get your ass beat, but they
Right.
nice to me. Like,
Right.
But I'm being honest. I feel like in the space that we are in today, to answer the bottom line of really why the baddies are successful is because this was their opportunity. This is what God saw for them. Like, to be honest, you people can hate, not like it, but they would not be in this space if it wasn't supposed to be.
Right.
And I always say that now that they have this attention and they have these followers, what are they going to do with it?
Right.
And that's where I come in. That's where we go in now that Diamond has this attention and she's been in this space. Like, let's get you on these podcasts. Let's get you in the radio. Let's get your radios,
Right.
your record spin.
Right.
Because Diamond's goal, when she came to me, she said, I want a record deal. And I was like, you don't want a distribution deal? And she was like, no, I want a record deal. And she was very determined on it. And now she has a record deal. I remember being at Diamond's first time when she performed at the BET Experience. I remember seeing Diamond's first award that she had got for Best New Hip Hop Artist from Now That's TV. And one of the best moments of my life was when she was thanking everybody and she thanked me. And I was like, that's going down in history. So yeah, I think all the girls, and even now, like, their success is also a part of my success.
Absolutely.
And I am cheerleading them on. And I don't know whatever door baddies opened up for them. I will say this is not where it ends.
I don't see it in there because you be moving and grooving and doing everything else and out here and working BET weekend celebrity events. And so events are no longer just parties, they are media assets.
Yes, and yes. Everybody at home, if you are curating events, utilize that network. Everybody asks me, how do I do this, like in PR or in managing? I throw the best parties that there is to have, and I invite the right people. But I also don't just do birthday parties. I do red carpet events. And so what I do is I'll do a red carpet event and give the media a reason to be there. And then once I have a red carpet event, it gives the talent a reason to be there because the talent wants to talk to media. Media wants to talk to talent.
Right.
So events are core. So now I'm doing monthly networking events, setting up the red carpet, inviting celebrity guests who are bound to come to my event because I know I throw really good events. And then I have the media on the carpet. I'm now building up my contact list. I'm utilizing that contact list probably 6 months to a year, 3 years later, based off the red carpet. And I feel like people would be like, how did you be? No, it was my party. I had a good drink with them. I said, what you doing? They said, I have a platform. I said, when am I coming on it? It was that easy. And that's a key element that I feel like people are missing out. Like, it's not just about going to, throw one.
Right. I'm trying to be like you when I get older. You know what I'm saying? You is all.
Sarah don't pull up on you.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to be like you, friend.
Why do you play without singing the blues?
No, but I'm realizing. So the reason I'm even talking now and I'm doing a lot more talking is I had the opportunity this year to start speaking at schools. and giving this information to kids, but like more like underprivileged kids. And I've been going to like career days and to schools that are like second education schools. Like, you know, when your kids get kicked out of school and they don't have no options, because that's what happened to me. Like, now we're gonna get real personal.
Okay, come on.
I was in a coma when I was my junior year of high school for 10 days. I actually, right now, May 2nd, May 10th to the 22nd. So right now it's the 14th of May. I would have been in a coma right now when I was 17. So when I woke up, I had a different set on life, a different way of thinking. Like, I was like gung-ho and go. Like, I couldn't like let anything keep me back or drag me down. And that motivates me to do more. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't let back. And so the reason I'm even going into that pivot of the coma was that so many things have happened in my life that I can't let this moment define me. I gotta keep on going. Mm-hmm. But now it gets deeper than that, because I know I'm in the last of the time. Before the coma, I was very suicidal. I had tried to kill myself about 3 times before I was 17. And I couldn't imagine the way that my life is designed now. Like red carpets, I just got my home. I really couldn't see it this way. There was a lot of things happened negatively in my life. And after I came out of the coma, I went to school and they told me that they didn't feel like I was gonna have enough credits to graduate, and I had to go to an elective school. Not because I was a difficult kid, not because I had bad grades, but because of this medical situation. And when I went to this school, I felt like they gave up on me. And the counselor told me that I would not graduate this year, and it was gonna take 5 years for me to graduate. And being told, I don't like being told something. I couldn't do that. And so it just made me upset, and I cried. And my grandma saw me crying in front of the counselor. She said, "You don't cry in front of that white man." And it checked me real quick.
It'll show your weakness.
And I remember, and she did it in front of him too. And I remember telling him, like, I'm gonna graduate this on time, and he told me, well, if you graduate, like in a snarky way, send me an invitation. Like it was impossible.
Bitch.
Side note, I ended up graduating 3 months early. I did. My grandmother, she enrolled me in some college classes. Colleges are double for whatever high school credits you get. And I took elective and some other classes there. And then I enrolled into that elective school and ended up completing all the classes. And then I also ended up getting more scholarships that year in the history of scholarships of the school. And so that kind of drove me. So when I started to speak, I had an opportunity to speak at an elective school, and I thought it was a full circle moment. And I said, because I went to an elective school and I felt like somebody gave up on me, that I wanted to specifically go to those areas where kids would have felt given up on. And so I went to them and didn't want them to, and there was a lot of military people there, or people like, I don't want that to be your only option.
Right.
Because for me, I'm living my dream.
Right.
So I want to be the example of what it could be for you to live your dream.
Absolutely.
So I started really pushing that, and I go to the schools, and I have called Big Lex on FaceTime, and she's talked to the kids.
Oh, the kids went crazy when they
Diamonds talk to the kids. I will call my celebrity friends, and they'll talk to the kids with me and motivate them and be like, what is it that you really want to do? Because if you really invest your time, you invest your energy, it's possible.
Absolutely.
You know, everybody's recipe is different, but it's possible. And that has allowed me to open up and sharing my story more. It's opened up, and I feel like that's the avenue that God is shining a light on me in a different way now, because I didn't see myself as that. I was always working. I've been too in it to kind of see myself.
To appreciate it.
And once I started really assisting even with these kids, it has been one of the greatest things. And it's also wanting me to speak more, because there's other people in our communities that need to hear this, because dreams are really, really, really real. Because, and I only said this is the last thing because it's going to be the last note. Go to my Instagram, Emmanuel J Davis.
There it is.
It was coming. You thought I wasn't going to, you have to
I
tell
knew
me
you
if
wasn't
might
going
drop.
to forget.
Emmanuel J Davis, right? And so there is, on the top 3, there is 1, 2, and then the third one is a thing of me on The Price is Right. Quick story, I won. So it's just going to be a thing. But on The Price is Right.
Oh, I got to watch that.
But I didn't just win. That day, when I went on set, I knew the exact number, so he had to give me an extra $500. I then knew, and I won my showcase, so then they gave me $5,000. I then won the wheel, so they gave me the $1,000. And then I won the double showcase.
Of course he did.
I was $28 away from the number. I manifested. This is the thing. The day before, I told my business partner I was going to do exactly that. I said I'm going to do exactly what I did. And I manifested it. I believed it before it really even happened. I saw it in my mind. It's clear as day that if you watch it, and that whole episode, I said, I said that's going to happen. I was hyperventilating at the wheel because I knew I had already won the double showcase. It was when you know something.
Right.
And when I'm gonna tell everybody, my last note, what God told you, he didn't tell everybody else. And sometimes that's the dream.
That's deep. That's deep. That was a lot. But shit, I'm just sitting here like, damn, I ain't been on the prize of Wheel of Fortune. Shit, one of them.
I went on
Family Feud.
Well, I went on Let's Make a Deal. I won a scooter on Let's Make a Deal. I went on a show with Snoop and Martha, and I won the world's most expensive hamburger and like the world's most expensive milkshake. Yeah, they done a whole feature on me. Like I'm like one of the world's most luckiest people on the planet. But hey, I'm not a loser.
The fuck? Take me with
I'm
you
like
next time.
I'm like Big Lex, undefeated, bae. Undefeated.
I saw they showed me some of her videos, Shy. I said, Lex, I see you, boo-boo.
Listen.
You seen it up close, raw, in person.
When I tell y'all, and I want y'all all at home to really watch the shows, but don't think you know the girls by
That
what
part.
you see.
Right. You
Like
never
you don't
the
know
girls.
them.
You definitely
don't know them. And we talked a lot about the baddies today, and I gave them because I feel like I gave the energy because I gave the fans, but I know sometimes a lot of them are sometimes watching and tuning, and the baddies like they have a lot going on. But I want y'all to really support them in other areas outside of fighting. I mean that to all the other blogs. I mean that to all the other fans. They have things going on with their music, so go download and stream their songs. They have things coming out with movies, watch their shows, support their merchandise. And outside of the baddies that I have, I mean all the baddies are talented. They all have something going on. They would not be on the show if they were not baddies. And they have a stigma or people have an opinion about them that, they are, some of the most popular bitches I know. Let's go support them.
He's so funny. All right, so we always give our guests a necessary and unnecessary. What is your necessary and unnecessary about success and failures?
Necessary is to take ownership and to be transparent in success. I realize that that's why a lot of people work with me. I'm very honest. I'm step by step of the way. There is nothing that goes back into it, and because there's a lot of scammers out here. There's a lot of people that do it and say they do what they do and they don't do it.
Right.
And so if you want to be successful, just show up, do the job, and be honest, and you're going to be successful.
Absolutely.
And the unnecessary is the scamming. You goddamn scammers. Special place in hell for y'all.
Oh, God.
No, I'm being serious. It's people.
No, I'm with you. I'm
It's
with
people
you.
that say they do it and
they
can't.
don't. Right.
And in the space of and then being real honest, like when you come to me, I want to be real with you. Don't think that you're gonna come to me and I'm gonna make you a star or anything overnight. Like
Right.
that's not how this sometimes even works. But there is things and deliverables and things that need to be done, and a lot of people can't hold those deliverables. And so yeah, that's the unnecessary in this business of success. Like you don't have to scam, you just have to do the work. And a lot of times, like there's places like and this is the last thing, because I've been in Ohio and as a publicist, honestly, I might not know anybody in Ohio. That doesn't mean that I'm not gonna Google, I'm not gonna LinkedIn,
Right.
I'm not gonna
Right.
go ahead and get on Instagram, and if I got a hashtag Ohio podcast, there's gonna be something that my clients are walking away from.
Absolutely.
There's work to be done, and then I have this contact list that I built up over years that at one point I feel like some people think they're coming in and are just doing it, and no, babe, I have this contact list, it's been this way.
Absolutely.
And what they will do for me, they're not doing for you.
Right. Because you didn't build that rapport with them.
Exactly.
I got you.
That relationship.
I got you.
Got a relationship with you.
Guy right there. Thank you so much for coming.
Of course. Anytime I'm having all the girls come through,
Oh.
dragging them in. I love you.
I mean, bring whichever one you can.
Yeah, I might have to fight them, but they
Ooh.
coming.
Hey, Thank you so much.
No, for
Thank
sure.
you. And you already told them where to find you.
Emmanuel J Davis on all platforms. Make sure y'all check out levelentertainmentgroup.com. Make sure you guys also check out Takeover Magazine, and I'm the editor-in-chief of that magazine, as well as hiphopindex.com. I am one of the contributors over there as well. Make sure that you guys hit up all the girls and all their platforms, Diamond the Body, Big Lex, Sapphire, Lexi Gold, I Am Michi, and yeah, go ahead and shop Soulja Boy store, operate with his brand. I can tell all the stuff all day. Y'all gotta stop me. Go ahead and turn on the music. Goodbye.
Thank you so much.